I had products that I picked up a while back in Canada. So some products from Annabelle, from Lise Watier, and from Joe Fresh. So I'm going to give you an update on how those have been working out, as well as some online orders that I made from BH Cosmetics and TheBalm and just a whole bunch of things. So I'm going to go ahead and link the original haul videos below. So if you're curious about when I picked up the products, how much they cost, the links to find them and that kind of thing, that information will be in those videos and the links for that are below. But let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at the products, and I'll give you my thoughts and full opinions on them after I've been using them for well over a month. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the two foundation products that I picked up when I was in Montreal. I got the Joe Fresh product here in the shade Porcelain, and it is their matte sheer tint. So this is a very lightweight foundation, and it's a matte foundation. Now, I don't find this to be truly mattifying. I think upon application, it's pretty mattifying, but after a while, it gets sort of a greasy feeling, which kind of defeats the purpose, in my opinion, of a matte tint. So I think the color match is really good. I think initially upon application it looks really nice, but then I don't know, there's something about it, maybe like a fatty alcohol in it or something that just kind of takes it from matte to starting to get like separating a bit on the skin. So I find for this one that it's a really good like light product to apply for a basic day. But if you need something that's going to go like all out and last 10 hours for you, that is not the product to choose. The Annabelle Skin True Foundation, I ended up liking this one quite a bit more. This one actually reminds me a lot of my BH Cosmetics Studio Pro HD foundation. So if you are in the US and you can't get your hands on the Annabelle Skin True, I have this one in the shade Natural Ivory. If you can't find this product, then check out this one. You can order this online and it's really affordable, but I like the formula of this. It is really natural looking. It doesn't emphasize dry spots. It doesn't get excessively oily. It's just very sort of middle of the road. I think it could work, and I mean that in the best way. I think it could work for any skin type because of that. In terms of coverage, it's light to medium, so if that's something that you like, then definitely go for it. I like that. I tend to like a more light to medium coverage, and then I like to spot conceal and add powder if I need coverage elsewhere rather than just having like a caked or plastered look to my skin. So this has been really nice for that purpose. So I would repurchase this if I, had access to it, but because I don't really, for, not living in Canada where it's available, I will definitely recommend this product over that, and I would continue to repurchase this as well. This is the shade 103, by the way, from BH Cosmetics. Okay, also from Annabelle was the trio of eyeshadows. This is a super cute little trio. It's called Quartz. That's the shade range, and I love this thing. I think it is perfect because it has this sort of mid-tone pinky shade that's good for the crease, has this dark shade that you can use in the outer V or use as a liner, smudge it on the lower lash line. I think the pigmentation is epic. Look at that from that dark shade. It's really nice. They're blendable. I mean, they're not overly soft feeling like you might get in like a Lorac palette or something like that, but they do the job. They give you the pigmentation, they look great on the eyes, and they're pretty long lasting. I really like that about it. I think sometimes drugstore shadows aren't as long lasting, but these really seem to be. I would definitely get my hands on another trio if that was available to me, but it was fun to pick this up when I was in Canada, and I think it's a great option. If you're unable to get Annabelle products though, I think another great option for a like no-nonsense trio that has everything you need are these Wet n Wild trios. So Walking on Eggshells is just my absolute favorite. It doesn't have quite a dark shade like the Annabelle one does, but add a liner with this and it's really perfect. All right, also on the drugstore end of things, I picked up this Joe Fresh brow tint, and it's called the Tinted Brow Fix. I have it in the shade Taupe. I'm wearing it today. I really like it, but I have to be careful with it because it's a pretty liquidy formula. A lot comes off on this brush, so I find that when I'm using it, I really need to like wipe off the excess on the edges of the packaging, and I have to be very careful while I apply it so that it doesn't get really messy. Sometimes I even go back in with a tissue and sort of dab it to get any excess off, and then once it's dry, I take a just spoolie brush and brush through the brows. But it gives a really nice tint to the brows that really lasts. So it doesn't smudge, it doesn't rub off during the day, it really is long lasting. I think the shade is pretty nice. I'm kind of a golden blonde, so the warmer taupey shade, it's kind of warm. It works for me. I prefer it to be a little bit more of an ashy taupe, but this is working and I like it. I think the tiny brush that this little guy has is really nice. So if you can get your hands on Joe Fresh products, this is a good one. And I do see them on HauteLook relatively often. So if you are in the US and they're not at your, local drugstore, Shoppers Drug Mart, you can at least find them from HauteLook online. All right, now for the more high-end stuff that I picked up from Lise Watier. This was a new brand to me that I didn't really know much about, but it's a really beautiful brand. I started following them on Instagram, and I just think the products that they're coming up with are really elegant and classy, and it's a beautiful brand. So one thing that I picked up was this concealer stick. This is the Age Control Supreme Filler Concealer, and it has concentrated Labrador tea extract. So it has skincare ingredients in it, so it's supposed to be really healthy for your under eye, anti-aging, and that kind of thing with the properties of concealer. I actually have mine in the shade Claire, so I think that's the lightest shade that they have, and it's still not super light. Let me give you a bit of a swatch of that. I mean, it is light, but I know sometimes if you're very fair, concealers can be tricky if they're not quite light enough. This one works for me. I do like it. I think that it's a really nice product that has good pigmentation. It blends out nicely. It's really gorgeous. I have zero complaints about it, except for the price. I think that this one, I can't remember exactly how much it costs. Again, you can go and check that video that I'm linking below, but it was expensive. It was, like a high-end price range, so we're talking around 30 bucks for a concealer. So it's not something that, even if it was accessible to me, that I would consider repurchasing. I just think there are other options out there that are really good. But if you're, interested in splurging, it is a good product. If you want to spend $30 on a concealer, it's great. So check it out. And then also from Lise Watier, I got 2 lip products. I'm wearing one right now. This is their matte liquid lipstick, so the matte formula, and it's in the shade Passion Kiss. I love this color, and I think the formula is really, really nice. I think the pigmentation is beautiful. It is not patchy. It's lightly drying, I would say. I always make sure that I have a balm on underneath so that it feels a little bit better than if you just applied it to dry lips. So I really like it. It will fade. It's not going to last 12 hours if you're eating and doing things normal people do, but it's fine. It's really a beautiful, bold color, and I think the matte finish just amps up that pigmentation even more, so it's beautiful. And the other lipstick that I got is a satin liquid lipstick, so it's not quite as matte, and so it's not quite as long lasting, but again, really, you're going to be eating and talking and doing all those things in life, so it's going to come off if you do those things. So I love this shade. It's more of a toned down rosy shade, but it's beautiful. It has a light sheen to it. It dries to nearly matte, and it feels just a little bit more comfortable on the lips. Doesn't last quite as long, so maybe the going out for a big event lipstick would be the matte one, and the everyday sort of lip color would be the satin one. But I really love this one. This is in the shade Bubbly Kiss, and it's gorgeous. And I love the shade, and I love the formula of both. They're really nice. All right, quick update on the TheBalm foundation. I like this, you guys. I've been using it quite a bit, and I've actually found that rather than using like a beauty sponge or using a foundation brush, my favorite way to apply this is actually with one of these little triangle sponges that are super cheap, because it gives you the control of application that like your fingertips would without actually having to use your fingertips. You can do the bouncing action and the spreading action, and it just all works beautifully with these sponges. I usually give it a quick spritz of of a setting spray just so that it has some moisture in it, and then tap it on, and that's what I'm wearing on my skin today. I think it's a great color match. I have this in the shade Light, and it's really comfortable. It feels very moisturizing on the skin, so maybe steer clear if you have very oily skin. But if you have dry to normal skin, I think that you'd like this formula a lot. It covers nicely, it's really comfortable, and it feels good on the skin. Okay, you guys, there are two more things, sort of. There are these two from the same sort of collection from BH Cosmetics. I picked up the Bliss mascara. What is this called? It is their BH Bliss Lash Ultimate All-in-One Mascara. You guys, this is the wettest formula I've ever tried. So my review of it essentially is be careful, look out, because it is kind of messy. So if you do not like a single clump in your lashes, steer clear. If you don't like a wet formula, steer clear. If you like mega volume, you don't mind dealing with a little clump here and there, I say check it out because it's pretty affordable and the packaging is cute, and you know what, it really does work. So I'm not going to repurchase this, I know that much, just because it isn't my favorite formula. It's just a bit too wet, but I will use it up until it's gone, and you know, it's okay. For the bronzer, I like this, you guys. I just think the shade of this is perfect for fair to light skin tones. It's nice, and it's kind of a satiny bronze, so it's not ultra matte. I mean, it comes off relatively matte, but your skin still has some life to it. I'm also wearing this today, and I just think it's really nice. I've seen reviews where people have said it's kind of patchy and they weren't impressed with the formula, and that's not my experience at all. I think the formula is really nice. I think if you're using a fluffy brush, it works the best, so don't try to go in with something that's like a really dense brush, because yeah, it might look kind of streaky then. But if you use something very light and fluffy, it just blends really nicely on the skin. And I think really the packaging is very cute, but also the shade is just what gets me. I think it's a really beautiful shade for light skin tones. So this one was in the shade Tranquil Tan. Okay, final product was this palette, and I love it. I mean, basically, look at these colors. They are so interesting. I think it's a really beautiful sort of earthy jewel tone range of shades, and I think it's stunning. This is the Nubian 2 palette by Juvia's Place, and I just think it's really gorgeous. I'm really happy that they have this shade in here because other than this one, the palette is pretty bold colors. So that one is a beautiful shimmering highlight. The pigmentation on these is incredible. So I mean, I just have to give it a huge thumbs up. It's really fun to play with. So if you want to play with color in your looks, you want epic pigmentation, these colors are appealing to you. You want mattes and shimmers. You've got it all right here. They're absolutely stunning. So, you guys, that's it. That is my update. Basically, everything turned out to be pretty good, but there are some I'm not going to repurchase. I'm not going to be too upset when this guy is gone. I'm not going to be too upset when this mascara is gone. I know that I have a good alternative for the Annabelle. I know that I have decent alternatives for the expensive concealer, so I'm okay there, but particularly, I really liked a lot of the color products that I picked up the most. If you have any of these things, let me know what you think of them. If you have any questions about any of the products, let me know that as well, because I'd be happy to chat with you about them. And I'm so thankful that you spent part of your day with me. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you next time. Bye.